What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Off the Couch Boxing in the center of the ring. Here I am, boy, Reckless Rex Ruger, along with the Alexis Arguello puppet.
And it's your boy, Frank Benji's with that wave responsibly on Grimy Life.
And our guest is here. That's why we love the Irish, folks. Give it up for the Irish. Give it up for the Irish. We might get an angry, I don't know, man. We might get an angry Connor in here. I don't know, like, what he'll want to talk to or what he won't want to talk about, man. We just talked offline a little bit, man. So I don't want to, ask you anything that you can't talk about, man. But I think right off the bat, man, Connor the Kid Coyle. One thing we love on here, I think we might have talked about this the last time. We love nicknames. You choosing the Kid is genius. I'll tell you why. It keeps you timeless and eternally youthful forever.
That would be
The
great
Kid.
if that was true.
I should have nicknamed myself the Kid a long time ago, man. I probably feel a lot younger than I do right now.
I don't feel that young anymore.
Listen, man, we're happy to have you back, man. You know we're big fans. We had you on the last time right before you had to pull out, unfortunately, the Austin Ammo Williams fight, man. So first and foremost, man, I know you hurt like a tendon in the right elbow. How's health?
Yeah, everything's good. We had a good rehab, recovery from it. I did a lot of strength and conditioning, and from doing that, I built myself stronger. When I came back to St. Petersburg,
Yeah.
I was just physically bigger and physically stronger. So I have to take its benefits from it. I just got stronger while doing it. So
And you must take some comfort in. Austin did get the fight on that day. He did win, but then he did subsequently just go on to lose. So
yeah. He had a tough fight his last fight. Yeah,
he had a very tough fight. Yeah, with Hamza Shiraz. Yeah, he had a tussle there, man.
I got
definitely.
how much I love the Irish accent until I hear
I know. I know. I love it too, man. I think we established that in the first episode that the Irish are the toughest, but very thin on cuisine. I remember we talked about that specifically.
Yeah.
'Cause I got a lot of Irish in me too, man. But we can't bring a lot to the table as far as good culinary dishes.
Yeah.
I mean, we're limited there. We're not the Italians or our Asian friends, man, can whip up a storm in the kitchen.
If it doesn't include some sort of potato, we ain't
or beer.
Things and beer. That's
listen, man.
diet.
Benji's, man, right now we're looking at the WBA number, and I don't get this at all with the rankings, dude. How does the WBA have you number 2 but a vacant number 1 spot? Every time I look up the ratings, that puzzles me. If I see blank number 1 and then you're number 1.
Yeah, no, basically I'm number 1 because there's nobody rated above me.
Just elevate them up to 1.
But how are you number 2 and number 1 in the WBA, but then all the rest of the rankings don't really have you up there?
We can never figure this out, Connor. Maybe you can help us. And we've even asked other fighters on here. Nobody seems to understand the ranking system. And I do want to point out before you answer Benzi's question that there are guys in the top 15 ranked right now with, I don't want to mention any names or disrespect any fighters, but there are guys even in the Ring Magazine top 10. They know who they are with 3 losses, even a guy with 4.
Yeah.
How does that work?
I don't know. Well, the belts I fought for the WBA, the North American belts, 4 times, so that's why I'm ranked with the WBA. I haven't fought in any organizations like the WBC or ABF or anything like that, so that's why I would be on those rankings.
But if you had a choice to go for one of the titles, though, WBA one would be, in fact, Erislan De Lara.
Yeah, that's the next fight now. That's our goal. That's a fight that we would love.
I hate to say it, just between me, you, and the wall, Erislan De Lara is one of those aforementioned guys with 3 losses in the Ring Magazine top 10. Nothing against him.
Yeah, but the guys he's lost to is one of the top guys,
top notch. Yeah. He's one of the best.
Oh, am I tripping or is he old?
Yeah, he's up there.
He's 40 anyway. He's at least 40, 41, I think.
Been around a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
he's not gonna beat anybody nicknamed the Kid. That's just not going to happen. And Irish on top of that, man, no way. He doesn't stand a chance.
I wouldn't let it happen.
So I'm sure fans are eager to want to know, though, man, what is next for you? I know we talked a little bit offline. I don't want to, step over any lines or whatever, but what can you tell us about your activities and any plans coming up?
Well, we're working on something right now at this moment, so hopefully we can have an announcement tomorrow or Friday at the very latest.
Okay.
And that's going to be something that pops up very soon, in the coming weeks. But other than that, if it doesn't go ahead, then we want to push for this Lara fight. We want to try and make some contact with Lara's team or whoever promotes Lara. I'm not even sure who does promote him, but I would love to get that fight and even get it in the works at least, and try and figure out when, if it will be the end of this year or next year or start of next year. Just to try and get the ball rolling now and push for that fight.
You might as well just say it's going to be 2025 is going to be a big year, because every other young up-and-coming fighter on here has all called, have they not? 2025 is being their year.
Well,
so 2025 is definitely going to be. I mean, come on, you're 20-0. I mean, how the hell can they not give you a title shot, man? It's ridiculous that you're not even ranked in all these alphabet organizations. We just had Keyshawn Davis on here the other night, man, and he was ranked under some guys that he was personally insulted by in his weight division.
Yeah.
It's like, how are these guys ahead of me? How are they ranked ahead of me?
Yeah. No, boxing I just haven't had any, they say Irish has a luck, but I haven't had any luck at all.
Would it help if Off the Couch Boxing writes a check and we'll get you on the
Yeah, go ahead. No,
but listen, man. I mean, to talk a little bit about the fallout when you got the interview and you couldn't pull out of the Austin Emma Williams fight. Like, did it do anything to you mentally, man? Did it weigh on you, man? Like, that was going to be, that was going to be the winner gets Lara, correct?
Yeah, definitely. That really mentally got to me, especially when I got home, and then whenever it set in, and I realized that the fight wasn't actually happening. That was tough. It was a tough few months, out of the ring, but I didn't let it affect me too much. I stayed in the gym. Not in the gym, but with my physio Martin Dunlop and my strength and conditioning coach Kyle Wallace. I worked with Emma for 8 weeks straight, doing the rehab and all our strength work that I could do and build on for 3 days a week. But that it was mentally tough more than anything.
So you're ready for a fight, though. You're ready for a fight here soon. I mean, last time was last August, so you're ready.
Yeah, I'm ready for a fight. I'm between my last fight in August. I've literally had three full training camps with no fights.
Someone's getting those knuckles. Let's see him, Connor. Someone's getting those. Someone's getting those ASAP soon.
Yeah, I hope so.
Is it hard when you watch, as a fighter? I just like to know, like, where you stand on this mentally, or if it makes an impact as you go into your game plan. But we still see a lot of awful decisions in boxing. We just saw O'Shaquie Foster criminally robbed for his belt. Does that weigh into your mind when you're going in? I mean, because, you're 20-0 with 9 knockouts, so you're not known as necessarily a knockout artist, even though you do have a lot of pop. I will say people probably are going to sleep on that a little bit, man. But you can bang, though. But you feel pressure, given the fact that they just yank the rug out from people sometimes. It's a little infuriating when you're trying to drive people back to the sport.
Yeah, it's actually crazy. Some of the decisions made recently over the past 18 months, or even the last 12 months, even this year. A buddy of mine back home, Sean McComb, who fought Barboza. Is it Barboza? Yeah. Mm-hmm. He completely, I think he won 8 out of the 10 rounds, and they didn't give him the decision.
Shaqie pitched a shutout. He might have won one round, but for the most part, he won them all.
Yeah, I know.
What? Huh?
Was that Arnold Barboza?
Yeah. Sean McComb.
Arnold Barboza. We had Barboza losing that fight.
I had him big time in that fight.
Yeah.
Big time losing it.
Outboxing him completely.
Yeah. I remember that fight. Now that he brings that up, I forgot. That's the one from this year that I completely forgot about. Barboza got a gift. God damn it! I hate when that happens, man. The right guy needs to win. And there's been some people on there that have made some good suggestions. One of them is not even maybe necessarily better training for judges, but putting guys in those seats, man, that have actually fought on some level, even if they only had amateur careers. They know what it's like to be in there, and they know the proper thing they're looking for. Sometimes I question boxing a little bit by putting these guys that are like 75, 80 years old back there that don't look like they've ever had a meaningful scrap in their life.
Yeah, I think they just pull some guys off the street sometimes and just sit them behind the courtyards.
I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but like I've sat ringside at fights, and sometimes it's tough to see. You know what I mean? What you're actually. I think it'd be better if these dudes watched it in a back room or watched
screen or something.
Right, like remote. Like I think you could watch a fight and judge it remotely. You don't even have to be there in person, because even those guys at ringside are usually looking into some type of a monitor. They're not really watching the action like through the ropes. Because like when we go to boxing matches here in our area, we always apply for media credentials. So we usually sit press row to cover it for our channel. So we're pretty close, and it is tough to watch a fight like right there through the ropes sometimes and accurately score it. If you're a fan, it's all right. You're just watching action. But if you really are the one that's responsible for finding out who wins this fight.
Yeah, 100%. I think it would be much easier to score it on a screen if you were sitting watching it and
I get
focusing
great
on
scores.
the fight.
Yeah,
You know,
I get great scores when I do it at home.
Yeah.
At least I think I do. And I always seem to match up with the guys who seem to know what the hell they're talking about.
Yeah.
It matters.
Definitely, yeah. Now sometimes it's hard with the atmosphere and the noise, and I say it would be easy enough to get us distracted,
Yeah.
Or else if you have a fan favorite and you're just constantly looking at them and not looking at what the other guy's doing,
Yeah.
So your eyes are on them constantly, so you're only seeing what they're doing good.
Yeah, shout out Mark Kriegel, dude, because my scorecard always matches his.
Me too. Yeah. Yeah. And Mark Kriegel had and just to go backtrack a little bit, the O'Shaquie Foster fight, Mark Kriegel had that 11-1. So I mean, there you go, 11 rounds to 1. So O'Shaquie Foster, it just seemed like I felt bad for him, but his jaw was on the, just on the mat there, man. I mean, he literally was blatantly just robbed. That's the kind of shit that can't happen. A close nip and tuck fight and it doesn't go the right way, that stings enough, man. But when a guy goes out there and fights it and carries out his blueprint, man, and I'm sure you're an old school guy with that mentality too. When you go into a title fight, you got to beat the champion kind of convincingly,
100%. The best way to do it is pick it out of the judge's hands and then try and finish the fight. Don't let it go to the scorecard, especially if you're out of town. If you're in their backyard or they're the champion, you don't want to let it go to the scorecards. That's the idea I would always have going into them kind of fights. If I was the underdog and I was coming into their backyard or I was fighting the champion, I would be looking to stop them. And not go to the points.
Yeah,
that's the way I would be looking to take it.
But you don't put pressure on yourself when you go into a fight, though, to ever look for a knockout.
No,
even with the crappy scores, you just let it come to you as it's going to happen.
Yeah, once you get going, once you see what the other guy has, and you find out, find out what his reactions are. You throw some feints, throw a few punches, see what way he tries to block or react, and then you know what you'll be able to do then, or if he's ready. This guy's sharp.
Yeah.
He's fast, he's going to see that coming, so you have to be a little bit smarter.
So let me ask you this. If you do lift this belt, well, I don't want to say if you do. When you lift this belt off Erislandy Lara, what's the plan? Is it to stay at middleweight and try to unify?
I make middleweight pretty easy, so I don't think I would be. I don't have any intentions of moving up. Not anytime soon anyway, unless and I don't know, unless other things change. I don't think so, but I think I would stay at middleweight, yeah.
So the other two champions, I'll screw up his last name, so I'll just say Janabek has the WBO.
I can't say as either, yeah.
Yeah, he's got the WBO and the IBF, and Carlos Adames has the WBC. What do you think of those two guys being, like your peers in their divisions, the other champions? Because let's face it, you're about to be the WBA champion.
Yeah,
I said it right here.
I think they're great fighters. All these guys, especially like in the UK, around Europe and all too. Middleweight division, it's wide open, but it's also filled with top 10 good champions as well. There's good fights at middleweight. Yeah. But I fancy myself against any of them. And if I fight Lara and get this world title opportunity, all goes well, and I love this world title, I would like to fight for the other belts too. I think it would be a great fight against Janabek. And
Janabek just pulled out of a fight, didn't he? Didn't he just have to pull out of a fight?
He must wait.
He missed weight against Mikhailov.
He had to go to the hospital, yeah.
Mikhailovich there.
Does he? Yeah. I'm not sure. Does he lose those titles for that, or what happens there?
I don't know if I don't know. Does that have to be in a contract? How does that work? Like to lose the titles on the scale? I mean,
yeah, I don't know. I thought they would be stripped from him if he didn't make the weight.
I mean, he'd be dropping two of them.
They should be vacant titles.
That's what I mean. I think they could be vacant if that is the case.
Are there any fights coming up the rest of the year that you're really excited from a fan standpoint? And first of all, it doesn't look like Loma's going to fight Tank. I think Loma's quietly trying to retire.
Yeah.
Seems like it.
No, I can't think offhand, but this August 3rd card is going to be good in is it in LA?
Really good. Yeah.
Yeah, there's some major fights on that. And Hot Rod, who trains in my gym as well, he's fighting David Morrell. So that's going to be an explosive fight too.
What about Madridov? Can Madridov beat Crawford?
He's very dangerous.
Yeah.
He's a very talented fighter, and he's reckless. Not reckless, but he's explosive.
Yeah.
And how do you say it? Unpredictable. Some punches, he's. I don't know. He could have an upset, but I think Terence Crawford's just, once he gets in there, you just see why he's so good. Then people like when they fought Spence, people was like, "No, it's going to be a good fight, whatever." But he just
wasn't. It almost wasn't even fair. And Crawford was in there, fought the whole fight southpaw too. Not even from his dominant side, it made it look easy.
Yeah,
Crawford's on another planet.
I think the sleeper fight on that card is El Royo Valenzuela versus Pitbull Cruz.
Yeah, that'll be a good one.
That'll be a good fight.
Yeah, Pitbull's exciting.
Yeah, 100%. He's always an exciting fight, Tom.
All the guys at 135 like to bark his name, but nobody really seems too quick to want to sign to actually fight him.
Yeah.
They like to mention his name a lot, though. So let me ask you this. We've added a couple of new questions probably since the last time that you come in. So you want to hit him with one of them, Benji's, or want me to go first?
I mean, I'll talk to him about, one question like my dad just said. We added, we like to ask guys, if you had to put together the toughest 3 minutes of your life, what song would be playing in your ear?
The toughest 3 minutes?
Yeah. Wait. Yeah. If you had the toughest 3 minutes, and you need that one song or artist, man, like what's in your ear to get you going, music wise?
Toughest 3 minutes in the ring, or in general?
Anywhere, anytime, man. It's the song you want playing in your ear.
Oh my, I wouldn't even be able to tell you. There's that many songs going through my head. I mean,
which one that really gets you pumped?
That's what I'm saying. It all depends on my mood. What song at the minute when I'm out running in the mornings, I like electric dance kind of music. That gets me upbeat. That gets me going in the mornings, and that makes me run faster.
No bath salts though, right? Just the techno music.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. I mean, we don't want to lose you to those ravers. No. We got to keep you on our side, man. Listen, man, I think for sure, though, man, that a WBA title fight's got to be coming the end of this year, early 2025 for you, man.
Yeah, well, that's what we're hoping for. As I said earlier, I haven't had the luck, but I'm hoping. I always say sooner rather than later. Sooner didn't happen, so later has to happen now. So I'm hoping.
You know what? They always talk about the luck of the Irish, man, but I'm about 50% Irish, man, and I'm with you. I don't feel like I'm all that lucky.
No, I'm far from it, especially in the box. Not everything else, the family and all that. No, I'm pretty lucky with my kids and all that. But the boxing side, I just had a short hand there.
Well, this is how I keep an eye on my son. I have him on I have him coast to show me. That way, I can keep an eye on him.
I win thing off skill, Connor, not luck of the Irish.
Yeah.
Well, 100%. Your work ethic and your skill or whatever, but. I think you do need a stroke of luck as well.
How close was a Tyler Denny fight ever of happening? He was a guy that you were kind of paired up with, I remember a while back.
No, not Tyler Denny, no.
No, who was it?
No. Felix Cash.
Cash. Okay, there we go. Yeah.
Tyler Denny just beat him recently.
Yeah, I don't want to drop his name either, man. I don't want to expose all these guys who I said were ranked, and I wasn't going to mention their names, but I think he's got 2 losses and 3 draws himself. I'm not picking on the ranking system too much, man, but I mean, come on. I'm looking at a guy that's 20-0, and only the WBA has him ranked. I just question these rankings. We've done it a bunch of times on here. It just doesn't seem to make much sense.
I think he sort of held that idea because he said he never fought for no WBC or no IBF, so I think that has something to do with it.
Yeah, you have to fight for the one of the sanctioned belts, to get under their ratings. That's how it works.
I hate that. I wish they were just looking at the 15 top, because the site that I go to shows you the top 15 and all the weight divisions. I think they should just have the best top 15 middleweights on there, no matter who they fought for, man. You know, I mean, like, you know, you're one of the best middleweights in the world.
Definitely. I agree with that too.
I feel like that's where the Ring Magazine belt kind of like, alludes to. You know what I mean? Like, this is the top 10, guys at this weight.
Well, that's kill with all these fucking belts. Just make the best fights.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You know what you got to get? You got to get over there and get some of that Turkey a la Sheikh money.
Yeah, 100%.
You got to get over to Saudi Arabia and get on one of those cards. Yeah, you got to get on one of those cards.
They sign me onto some kind of contract. I would love that.
Now, were you worried at all, man, with the elbow, or was it a pretty good healing process, man? Were you worried at any point how it would affect you going forward long term?
No, I knew. I've had it before. I've had the same injury, but it wasn't as aggressive, So I knew this time after what happened, I had to make sure it was going to be fixed 100% this time.
Yeah.
I had to make sure I put the work in. That's what I'm saying. I did 8 weeks solid strength training and rehab for 3 days a week. Solid work, So I made sure that I was going to come back stronger.
I'm not going to lie, man. That was one of the fights I was really excited about 2024, man. Was you and Ammo. That was one I was really psyched for.
Yeah, well, me too. That's what I was saying earlier about, it really did affect me mentally, because I was really looking forward to it, and it was my opportunity to prove myself to the world, that I deserve to be at the top in the middleweight division. But as I'm saying, hopefully that opportunity comes again very soon.
Now, do you feel like you'd hope that this fight with Erislandy Lara would be your first fight back, or would you feel like taking like a fight before a title fight? Are you ready to jump into a title fight right now?
I could jump on that title fight right now. Yeah, I've been putting in the work. I've been getting very hard. I've had 6 weeks hard sparring straight, 3 days a week, over 120 rounds, and each round was like a fight. So each spar was like a fight. Pushed hard every day. There was no easy days, and when I was in the ring. So I feel like I'm ready to step right on that title fight right now. But if I have to take a tune-up fight or a fight just to keep me going until that opportunity comes, then I'll take it, of course.
If you need to get a body on your resume, you can come down and knock out my son. I give you permission. He'd love to be a spot on the record. If you just need to tune up the fists a little bit.
Yeah, maybe.
You would get to tell people that you knocked out a 230 pounder.
Yeah. Yeah, you could say you stepped up and you got a couple of wins over heavyweights. You come up and do it to both of us. A couple of fat guys that don't get off the couch. Although we are both 6'4", you know what I mean. So the only problem we would pose to you is just reach. That's it.
You're 6'4"?
Both of us. Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah.
No
yeah.
I'm curious because you're from Ireland, and we had another Irish guy that I'm a big fan of. Do you know Tommy Hyde?
Yeah.
Great kid.
I don't know him, but I know who he is.
The governor. Shout out to the governor. Yeah, he's a good kid, man. Yeah. And then we also had I think I had him on by myself, man. Well, early on we had Aaron McKenna on. He was a nice kid too. Good kid. All the Irish guys are just awesome. They just are.
Yeah.
I'm such a big Irish buff. I got to confess this to you right now, Connor, man. I'm big into anything IRA. I read all about the IRA. I'm obsessed with it, man. I read all about, I'm sure you obviously know about all the Bobby Sands stuff.
Yeah.
The hunger strikers.
Yeah, well, that's basically from the city I'm from, Derry. That's where all that stuff happened.
Yeah, so that's near Belfast, right?
Yeah. In the north, that's Derry. That's where I'm from.
That's the war zone. So, like, so you're growing up, like, was that pretty much like, because, you're a young guy, but was there conflict and troubles going on around that time when you were there?
When I was a baby, yeah, but not with me growing up. It was all past then. It wasn't as rough. But my brother maybe seen a little bit of it, but my father, he was involved in it all. Like, he was there. He grew up in the bog side where it all happened.
Hey, but listen, man. But those are real patriots. The people in the IRA, they want to label them a terrorist organization, man. But those guys are just fighting for like what they believe in, though, man. You know what I mean? You gotta respect them for standing up to the British government. You know what I mean? That's a powerhouse, man. And they're just a ragtag army, but they're holding their own, though.
Yeah, well, there's plenty of stories.
Yeah,
plenty of stories there, but stuff that we couldn't get into.
Now, here's a question we got to ask, man, that we've also been asking Benji. You know, since you hit him with the music one, you know, after you've made weight, after you've had a successful fight, and now you don't have to make weight or worry about diet, what's the go-to meal right afterwards?
Cheeseburger and 2 Guinness.
Oh, nice. Just a down-home, good old American meal. Look at that, man. We took Connor Coyle and we Americanized him.
No, well, of course you get I fuel up first with the electrolytes.
Yeah.
I would drink a sip on electrolytes for an hour, about an hour, 90 minutes.
The Guinness, Connor.
Yeah. The
Plenty of
electrolytes are in the Guinness.
I'm trying not to give away my secret. I'm telling them I'm joking.
Yeah, because you don't want the boxers finding out that they can get superpowers from drinking Guinness.
Yeah.
Anything Irish, you get superpowers.
I'm not giving away my secrets.
Yeah. Enough of that, man. Enough of that. Yeah. Keep that down. All of a sudden, we'll be getting snapshots of Urslan de Lara in a bar drinking Guinness somewhere. We don't need that.
No.
We're gonna go poach. We're about to go poach a belt off of him. We don't need him in tip top.
He wouldn't know enough to let the Guinness settle.
Yeah, he wouldn't. Yeah.
A lot of people don't.
Well, listen, man, I'm so glad that you're back, though, man, and feeling good, man, because, I mean, it was really exciting, man. We were so pumped up for that fight, and I think we had you on. You were kind enough to join us, man. You were in training camp at the time. I think last time we talked to you, man, like you were literally it was a few weeks out from that fight.
Yeah. Well, that's because the fight was supposed to happen like at a date before that, and then I had to go home. And then when I was home for Christmas. And I got the call 2 days before Christmas that the fight was on February 3rd. So I was like, right. I couldn't have any beers at Christmas then, so I had to start my training camp there and then 2 days before Christmas.
I know, that's
so I had no turkey or no nothing. And I only had 4 weeks of training, so I had to really just dig deep. And I think that's what happened with the elbow. I hit the sparring right away, aggressive, and I was sparring 10, 12 rounds in my first week sparring.
Yeah.
And I was sparring 12 rounds 3 days a week for 2 weeks straight. And I think the elbow just took too much punishment, and that's what happened.
So it happened in sparring.
It was during sparring, yeah, because basically I only had 4 weeks of sparring, so I had to get as many rounds as I could then, over those 4 weeks.
I don't know, Connor. You're fucking up your arm in sparring, dude. You're putting it on these guys too much. Give them a break.
I know.
I want to ask you because one thing that happened in recent months, and I know this is sort of off topic of boxing, but it's Irish. Conor McGregor was supposed to have a huge fight against Michael Chandler, and he pulled out of that fight. And I was kind of sad. Like, is there like talks around that, like in Ireland, about that?
Are we going to disown Conor? Are the Irish disowning him?
Nah.
No, we're going to keep him.
I mean, everybody's going to have their own opinions,
I was sad. Conor fight again. I did.
I still do think the fight's going to happen, just at a later date. Maybe, hopefully, I think it possibly will happen this year.
Yeah.
What else is he going to do?
I think it will happen.
He hasn't proven to be a very good boxer. I don't care what he says, man. He's not going to actually enter the professional boxing ring. I mean, hey, look, in the UFC, he was fighting in what, like 155 was kind of like his weight?
Yeah, 45 was his best.
You know, so another couple of pounds, man, he'd be right in your weight division. I mean, what's he going to do with guys like you, man? You'll kill him.
Yeah, no, he did. He was in with Sutcliffe, Crumlin Boxing Gym. You know, he did have a good amateur background. Then obviously you get into the MMA and stuff. But he was a pretty decent boxer. And obviously it showed when he's MMA, he's striking and stuff. You know, it just catching these guys with these big straight left hands.
It was going to be such a good fight, though.
I know, it really was. I know, and those guys have history together, man. So, like, so if you could play devil's advocate, put your imaginary promoter hat on, and you think of all the great guys who've competed at middleweight, man. You know, the weight that you're at. If you could have a dream fight with anybody ever at middleweight, man, who would you share the ring with?
Triple G, probably.
Yeah, that's a good pick. I was thinking Triple G or Marvin Hagler. I was thinking of legit middleweights, Bernard Hopkins, like guys that stayed there their whole career, you know?
Yeah,
Triple G's a good pick.
I didn't really follow boxing that too much, you know, like Hagler and all that. I didn't follow it back then. I've watched their fights, obviously, now, you know, but I always idolized Triple G. I just thought he was a class act. I thought he was brilliant.
a tough fight, dude. He's got one of the most memorable chins in history.
I know, and the hardest punches.
Yeah, but I think those are the fights that make you better, though, because I don't care what you say, man. And we've had Steve Claggett on the show before, and he's about to come back on again. He gave Teofimo Lopez a good fight a couple weeks ago. And even though Teofimo won, Teofimo, I think, is going to look back at a fight like that and say, this is where I really learned to be resilient. You know what I mean? He needed a fight like that, a guy to push him, you know?
Yeah.
It's like you guys would push each other, you know what I mean? Like a fight with you and him would definitely push each other.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I feel the better person, even in sparring, the better a person's in front of me, the higher I bring myself, you know, the best I perform.
Yeah.
So if I'm in the ring with someone with not as much skill or you know, whatever, you know, that will bring out the best of me. But if I'm in with someone I know, right, he's fast, he's sharp, he's going to knock me out if I don't stay switched on. That's going to bring out the best of me.
That's definitely in Triple G. Yeah, for sure. I mean, you know, he trained in like a Mexican style. It was like fighting like an Eastern European Mexican guy.
Yeah.
He was a brawler.
Yeah. I sparred with Darnell Boone when I first came here about 7 years ago.
Yeah.
And he used to go over in the sparring camps with Triple G. You know, Triple G used to bring him in for his sparring partner. And he says to me after the sparring, he said, "Jesus, you remind me so much of sparring Triple G." He said, "Some of the things you do," he says, you just do exact same as Triple G whenever he's on sparring.
We can also never forget either that Triple G did beat Canelo every time they fought.
Yeah, let's not forget that, man. I think I think that gets swept into the rug, man, and it adds to Canelo's mystique, man. But yeah, a couple of those fights were really close.
Yeah, especially that. Was it many times they fight? 3?
3. Yeah.
Was it? Well, definitely, I think that I can remember the first one. I definitely won the first one. That was a draw, wasn't it?
Yep. Scoundrels.
Yeah, definitely won that one. I can't remember the other 2.
What?
I said won that one easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I remember that one. I remember sitting down watching that back home.
I'll tell you why I like Tommy Hyde so much when he comes on here, man, because what we really liked about when we watched his episode back was where he says what part of Ireland he's from, Cork. But the way he says Cork is amazing with his accent. How do you say the word Cork?
Cork.
Is Tommy's better?
He says it like how we would say it.
Yeah, he says it. Yeah, he kind of says
wait.
I don't know. Tommy's got a little. I can't do Tommy's as good. I don't want to do it not justice.
Wait, though, because something else he said I'll never forget is, like, we asked him, like, if you were talking smack to somebody, like, what would you call them? Like, Ireland, and he said,
Tyson Fury uses Dosser. I think we asked him, like, from his region, you know, did he use the word Dosser? And he said it was a langer. Call someone a langer. So that we learned from him.
That's a dick.
Yeah. Shout out to Tommy Hyde, because we said, you know, Tyson Fury uses we hear him use the word, you're a lazy dosser. You're a dosser all the time. You know, I said, is that one of those things that's prevalent all over your area, or are there regions where they use something else? And he said out his way, it's calling somebody a langer. He's a great young kid, though.
I haven't really heard anyone call that where I'm from. I haven't heard that one.
Well, Tommy's a great young guy, though. He's doing great, though. He's having a great career.
Smack talk word out your way, Connor.
Is there a smack talk word out your way?
Oh yeah, I couldn't say it here.
Okay.
No, I'm only joking. No, not off the top of my head anyway, but I would just use.
Have you ever called someone a dosser, or is that not prevalent in your neck of the woods?
No, I wouldn't say that. No, wouldn't be.
Why is Tyson Fury using so much?
Don't know.
Tyson Fury wears it out. He loves it.
They really started it when he was coming after Wilder, wasn't it?
Yeah,
big. So he got the Wilder fight, wasn't it?
I mean, he marketed it. It was like T-shirts. He marketed it all the way to the bank, though, man. He had T-shirts made up. He had people saying it along with him. I mean, it started to become a household term.
Yeah. I like better.
Huh?
I like Langer better, I think.
I think I do, too. I think I like Langer better. And plus, I mean, Connor knew exactly what it was as soon as we said it.
I think that's a second name, too, isn't it?
Yeah. Hey, listen, man. I'm glad we got a chance to do this again and catch up with you again and chop it up with you, man. I was glad we were able to let your phone get some juice, too, man. I know how that is, man. You sent me a screenshot of how low it was on juice, man, so...
Yeah, no, I just want to make sure because I didn't want to die in halfway through or anything.
Yeah, we just sat here and just chopped it up for like 15 minutes, and we said, "Yeah, we'll give him a couple more minutes. Let him get a couple more minutes in there, man. You know, you get the two of us all wound up and talking, man. You know, I'm like, we gotta start this. We gotta start this thing at some point. Connor's over there waiting for us, you know. But, hey, listen, man. So realistically, man, when do you think we'll see you back in the ring, man? You know, are you at least looking at like a month that you're gonna fight in August, September?
I'm hoping August 3rd next week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so you might be fighting next week.
Next week, yeah.
Is it going to be on that Ajimov card?
No, I wish. I wish.
I didn't say.
But I'm hoping we can get things that we were negotiating. They had to go back and forth, my coach and that today. Yeah. We thought we would have had the contract signed because we couldn't find an opponent. I'm here 6-7 weeks and we've struggled to find an opponent. But we finally got someone, and the contract that came to us, we weren't happy with it, so we didn't sign it. We sent it back. They have some things changed, and if they change them, then you know we can announce the fight tomorrow or Friday for August.
Smoke from the kid.
Yeah, they don't want any smoke.
No, well, that's I can't get any fights, so maybe not. That's why I need the big fights. I need those. I need that big title fight.
There you go. There goes that luck of the Irish again, doing nothing for us.
I know.
I can't wait to see you back in action, though, man. You showed us the knuckles. The knuckles look ready. The knuckles look ready. That's for sure, man. But listen, man, we're glad that you stuck it out and waited for us a little bit tonight, man. I'm glad we're able to make this happen and have you back on, man. I wish we had better news and something more definitive. I know you were a little pissed off about that when we spoke, like outside of here or whatever, man. But as soon as you can hit us with some news, hit us with it, and we'll announce it on here, even if we don't have you on here, man. We'll do. Something pops up, let us know.
I'll send you the message once if I get the contract tomorrow or Friday, and then we can announce it.
Yeah, always fun having you on here, my man. We love chopping it up with you, man.
Thank you.
As soon as you get those big titles, don't forget us.
Nah, of course not. I'll be straight on here. I'll be straight on here, slabber.
Yeah, we appreciate you doing it, man. Always, man. Appreciate you, man. All right, talk to you soon, champ. I'm calling you champ already. See you later, champ.
See you later. Bye, guys.
Come on, man. What's better than it? What's better than a Connor the Kid COYLE interview? Nothing.
Dude, I just love chopping it up with the Irish.
Nothing is better, man. That right there, man, goes down on the down low as a sleeper, amazing episode right there that could work its way right in, man.
Before I go any further and say what I need to say, did anybody from the Busey camp get back in touch?
Not as of yet, no. Not as of yet, no.
We need something from the Busey camp.
Yeah, if anybody that knows anybody or has any kind of old contact info or any link that would possibly be watching this right now with their eyes that knows any way to get a hold of one Gary Busey. Gary Busey, you need to let the Off the Couch Boxing podcast know immediately. If it's an email to an agent, if it's a valid phone number, if it's anything you can copy and paste, don't send this shit from his website, man. We already went to GaryBusey.com and called every fucking number. But I haven't explored the email addresses on there yet. I just tried to leave phone messages at some different entertainment representation companies, agents, blah, 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 whatever.
Yeah, because
working on it though, in utero.
Before I shout it out, I gotta say, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, find us on Facebook, shout out Connor COYLE, because he's about to be back in action and
the kid. No, he's not about to be back in action. He's about to be the WBA middleweight champion of the world right there.
That's right. He's about
the WBA middleweight champion of the world. As Arizlande Lara is on borrowed freaking time, man. But this guy would have already had this belt by now, man. He was supposed to fight Austin Ammo Williams back in February. He would have beat him. Austin Williams did have a step-in opponent, man, who he did beat, although he just went on recently to lose to Hamza Shiraz, another big up-and-coming prospect in the middleweight division. So Austin Ammo Williams is not undefeated anymore either. But Connor is ranked number 2. It's ridiculous by WBA. And if you look on the boxing rankings page that I go to frequently to keep up with this stuff, there is a vacant number 1 spot. So that's what I told Connor. In my mind, you're fucking number 1. If there's no number 1 and you're number 2, you're number 1, if that makes any logic.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense to me.
Come the fuck on, dude. I mean, come on, just move the fucking guy up, man, or put someone in front of him. Do one or the other. Shit or get off the pot. Yeah. This is why boxing is always fucking.
On top of that, Arizlande Lara, dude, is 41 years old. It's about time, brother.
Yeah, and I am in other related boxing news. I think I did post on our page, but I'm not sure. But I am happy to see that O'Shaquie Foster is getting the immediate rematch with Robeson Conseiao.
I mean, there's no need for a rematch, dude. He won that fight fair and fucking square.
I know we shouldn't even be talking about this. It should be O'Shaquie. Should be O'Shaquie moving on to some new blood, but it's not.
It wasn't close. It wasn't even like it was a 7-5 fight or an 8-4 fight. It wasn't close.
Yeah, that's better. Your audio's better, man, like when you're close to the screen, for sure. Much. The closer you can get to your screen, the better.
It wasn't close.
I mean, not so close you come out of frame, man. But, yeah, hey, look at me. I'm directing the episode right in the middle of it, man. I'm like Scorsese.
I can't even believe that was even allowed to be a fucking score, dude.
I bet you Mark Kriegel almost got physically ill. He had it 11-1.
Yeah,
he stuck his neck on the line and giving his unofficial scorecard at the end, and he's supposed to be ringside as a sports analyst and expert. He says 11-1 at the fight's over, and then referee cards come in and give it to the other guy. I mean, and I'm not laughing at Mark Kriegel about this because my card was 12-0. So I mean,
I actually would have agreed with Mark Kriegel and probably said 11-1.
11-1 at the most. I guess if you're fighting around in there and you have to because Robeson's got the Olympic pedigree and, you got to give him some respect and figure that in a 12-round fight he wins around. But I'm not so sure. O'Shaquie fought a beautiful fight. I'm trying to get him to come on the show, But, of course, I don't know how much press he wants to do given the fact that he just pretty much had his belt and his heart ripped away from him. I'd be pissed too, man. Yeah. I'd be salty at boxing, man, and I think he's handled it extremely well. So a shout out to O'Shaquie Foster. He said what he said on his Facebook page or whatever, man. But he hasn't been overly hypercritical. He's kept it very profesh for a guy that was blatantly robbed that badly in public on ESPN. Or was that on ESPN?
Of a fucking title.
Yeah, of a title too. Yeah, that makes it even more of a travesty, man. That he took this guy's belt away. I mean, and what was he? He had a good. He was like WBC.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
But again, man, shout out Connor COYLE for coming on, taking
the kid. I told him he's never going to age with that nickname, dude. He keeps himself timeless and eternally youthful with that name. Shout out to Gary Carter, the old Mets catcher. He was also known as the Kid, and Ken Griffey Jr. Yep. If you pick that nickname, man, obviously they ended up calling him Junior a lot more, man. Gary Carter was definitely the Kid, though.
Yeah, man. Shout out Connor the Kid COYLE, like you said. Soon to be WBA champion.
Yep. And
just a great guy, man. Just a wonderful guy.
I'm telling you, man, if people aren't tapped in, man, and they think they're going to go to any other channel and find, in my mind, the WBA #1 ranked middleweight in the world, chopping it up on a boxing show, man, like that, talking food, talking music, talking fucking bullshit about the rankings, talking about other middleweights, talking about it all. We were all over the board with it, man. We were all over the board with it, and Connor's down for it. Connor's there for it.
And with that being said, shout out Gary Busey, because we said it all, and I can go 15 seconds with anything.
Yeah, like and follow us on Facebook, man. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell on this channel. As I said, the best boxing conversations anywhere in the universe. This is where guys are just going to come in and just kick it with us, man. Just kick it. Can I kick it? Yes, I can. Can I kick it? Like Tribe Called Quest.
No.
Yeah. So you stay tapped into this show. And remember, if you want to be a champion, definitely shout out Connor the Kid COYLE, man. Ireland's finest right there, man. Represent, man. Love that dude, man. Always a friend of the show. If you want to be a champion, you got to roll with the champs.